If you're going for the rank of sergeant or the rank of inspector in the police service, you've got your promotion board coming up ahead of you. You might be thinking, yes, I need to have an answer for each one of the CVFs, for each one of the competencies, each one of the values. Well, you'd be absolutely wrong. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 key areas that are consistently being asked about in police promotion boards. I'm going to tell you how we know this. I'm also going to articulate to you how you can actually develop yourself towards these 3 key areas to ensure that you ace your promotion board. So first of all, you might be thinking, that's a tall order, that's a tall ask. Who are you to give me this kind of advice? My name's Brendan from Blue Light. Over the past 31 years now, I've been guiding and supporting people, coaching people for promotion boards ever since I got promoted to sergeant. Those are my old epaulets. These are my old epaulets. Got promoted to sergeant in 1993. And from that point onwards, started to get people asking me, do you think you could help me with my promotion board? And started to become good at it. And now this is a business. I've got a team of amazing coaches around me. We've got over 800 5-star Trustpilot reviews. And we actually guarantee success. If people don't pass their promotion boards, we give them a refund. How cool is that? What a great arrangement is that? You don't pass, we give you all your money back. That's how confident we are in our services. I'll tell you more about those in a moment. But first of all, these are the 3 key areas that are consistently being asked about. I'll go into them in a little bit more depth in a moment. First one, performance, standards, welfare and well-being. And of course, in the middle of this triangle, we've got your leadership style. Excuse me. How do we know this? Well, one of the tasks that we set our academy members when they first join us is, and they join us for one-to-one coaching, small group practice webinars, and a load of online material as well to support them. But one of the tasks we ask them to do is to actually go and find out what the interview questions are going to be at their promotion board. And you might be thinking, oh, that's unethical. You can't do that. You can't go asking those sort of questions. Yeah, but we don't couch it like that. What we get our academy members to do is to contact a chief officer. The chief constable, maybe not, or maybe, depends on your force and how approachable they are, but certainly the DEP or one of the ACCs. And we just ask him, get him to ask this simple question, either via email, or if you get the opportunity to meet them in person, or you're just passing them in a corridor, should you be at headquarters, just ask him this question. What's the one thing, or what are the 3 things, no more than 3 things, that actually keep you awake at night, the things you worry about for this force? Because trust me, you might be thinking, oh, chief officers in their ivory towers, they don't care. I used to be a staff officer. Seriously, they do care. And all the chief officers we know, they care. They really do. They passionately care. They really do. And so things do keep them awake at 4 in the morning. And we've nailed it down to performance, standards, and welfare and well-being. And all of these things are down to you. So if you're going for the rank of sergeant, you're going for the rank of inspector, or even chief inspector or superintendent, don't be thinking that these things are on the chiefs. They are definitely not. They might be in charge, but they're not in control. Do you want to know who's in control? Sergeants. Sergeants are. Before I got promoted to inspector, a really awesome, amazing police officer, I hope his ears are burning, called John O'Hare. He retired as an ACC from Greater Manchester, but he gave me some really amazing advice before I got promoted to inspector, and he just said, never forget, it's a sergeant's war out there. Unless your sergeants are on board, you will achieve nothing. You'll achieve 0. And that's that concept that you might be in charge, but you're not in control. It's the sergeants and inspectors that are out there that are in control. And so when we talk about, oh, the chiefs need to sort out the culture or welfare and well-being, then that's not the thing. That's not the thing they should be doing. Sorry, I had a blip there with my camera. That's not the thing that they should be doing. It's down to you. It really is down to you. Anyway, what do we look at in terms of performance? Well, we know from talking to the chiefs that they're not just interested in targets. Actually, they want you to treat performance targets, or as not targets, if you like, as sort of metrics, because the metrics should be enabling you to ask better questions of what's going on. to ask better questions of what's going on. And so one of the things we advocate for our academy members is for them to ask questions of their teams about performance, but not just like, why have you not achieved your 6 stop searches this month? No, that's not about managing performance. Asking more appreciative questions. When we talk about appreciative questions, we're talking about questions that are asking people to articulate the things that they're proud of, the things that they've done and achieved. So performance could be around managing a situation where there's a very, very vulnerable woman or a man who is victim of a sexual assault. How did you support them and enable them to come through that as a victim and enable justice to be served by them cooperating in the investigation so that you could arrest the offender and bring him to justice? Now, that's not about a target. That's about performance. It's about an outcome. And so if you're not asking questions about those sort of outcomes, then naturally, if you're only asking questions about number of stop and searches, number of arrests, the number of fixed penalty notices issued, whatever, all of those things that are easy to measure, guess what your team's going to do? They'll go and do all of those things that you're asking about. The power is in the question. Whatever questions you're asking, they will take the lead from those questions. Is that making sense? So again, performance, it's down to you. It's down to you. And we know from talking to the chiefs that they don't want you just chasing targets, because they know that the outcome of that is not going to be very good. Seriously, it's not going to be good. You're just going to get officers going for the low-hanging fruit. How do I know this, by the way? I was in Greater Manchester Police. We were experts at it before we went into special measures. I retired from GMP a year before we went into special measures. I can remember walking out the door thinking, this force is so effed. Because I knew that the behaviour of some of the senior officers, where they advocated the game playing and the cooking of the books and the behaviour that was just bordering on unethical, or probably unethical at times, was just not going to work out. It wasn't going to end happily. And I think most chief officers know this now. You may disagree with me, but look, this is what chief officers are telling us. Next, standards. This isn't just about the standards of investigation. It's about standards in terms of behaviour. Now, this isn't about your ability to be able to challenge inappropriate behaviour. We should just take that as a given. If you're going for a promotion, you should be more than capable of challenging inappropriate behaviour. What we advocate for our clients to do is to develop the skills of enabling your team to feel comfortable to challenge behaviour as and when it occurs, as and when the behaviour is inappropriate and it needs challenging. And we're not talking about everyone going to professional standards. Your ability as a sergeant and as an inspector to be able to manage the behaviour and make records of behaviour that's inappropriate, enable your team to be able to feel comfortable and able to do so. Because trust me, we know this from our academy members, that lots of constables just don't feel comfortable challenging inappropriate behaviour. They don't even know how to. And who's that on? It's nothing to do with the training department. It's nothing to do with the chiefs. Again, it's down to you. It's on you. If you're their sergeant and they don't know how to challenge inappropriate behaviour, then that is on you. It's the same with performance. You know, if they don't know how to do stop searches, and trust me, I've seen so many examples on YouTube that make me weep. Yes, you're being stop searched because of your behaviour. It's suspicious. You're being detained because you're being suspicious. No, you can't. What? Seriously? Yeah, you can't go anywhere because you're not giving me your name and address. Well, I've not committed an offence, have I? No, but you still need to give me your name and address. And if you don't, you're being detained. Yeah, I'll detain you from stop search, actually. It's out there on YouTube. So I know I'm going backwards a little bit, but I kind of forgot about the stop and search thing, like on performance. It's not just about, it's not just about the chiefs in the training departments. It's on you. If they don't know how to do a stop and search properly, that's on you. Remember, you're the one that's in control. They're just in charge. They're just in charge. You're in control. All right. So standards of investigation, standards of behaviour, and what you're doing to enable your team to be able to challenge behaviour and feel comfortable to do so. In an environment where people aren't just all going to the big house. No, professional standards don't want that. Seriously, we know that. They don't want it. Next one, welfare and well-being. I see this on LinkedIn and other posts on social media, how the chiefs need to do more to recognise welfare and well-being. Well, it's on you. Again, it's on you. So what are you doing in order to enable a culture where the well-being and welfare of your team is being looked after. Again, it's on you. It's on you. You're the one that sets that culture. You're the one that sets the tone in respect of welfare and well-being. So what are you doing in a systematic and structured way to ensure that your officers' well-being and welfare is being catered for? And if you're an inspector, what you're doing to ensure your sergeants are catering for the welfare and well-being of your officers. Again, this often goes back to the sort of questions that you're asking. So if you're asking your sergeants, if you're going for inspector and you're temporary inspector at the moment, and you're asking your sergeants questions about welfare on a regular basis, guess what they're going to do? They're going to see that that's important to you, and they're going to naturally develop themselves and work towards looking after the welfare and well-being of their officers. And by the way, this is how you're going to save your force millions. Millions. Because if you don't get welfare and well-being right, we know what happens, don't we? People just leave. They just go. They vote with their feet. This isn't a job for life for a lot of officers anymore. They're quite happy just leaving, going to do something else. They might come back to policing, they might not. But it's not that job for life anymore. And so, welfare and well-being, this has a really strong link with retention. And we estimate that every police officer who gets to 3 years service has probably cost the constabulary, the force that you're working for, about £250,000. And that's a conservative estimate. We think it's probably more like 300,000. Because it's not just about salary and national insurance and pension contributions. It's about everything that's needed to keep them out there doing their job. All the buildings, all the vehicles, all the training. The chief officers, what is their purpose if not to enable policing to happen? Do they serve any other purpose? What about their costs being built into the cost of every constable who gets to 3 years service? We estimate £250,000. So if you've lost 4 officers in a year, you've cost your constabulary £1 million. This links into another question that we sometimes get asked, or we sometimes ask people about managing budgets. And they say, oh, my budget's about £5,000 a year. No, it isn't. It's the total cost of what the taxpayer pays for each one of your officers for a year. As an inspector, you're managing a budget well in excess of £1 million. Well in excess. That's your budget. Anyway, I'm going off at a tangent. So there you go, folks. Performance, standards, welfare and well-being. Also expect questions about your leadership style. How does that sit within that performance, standards, welfare triangle? And of course, the culture that's wrapped around it. You set that culture. It's not the chiefs. They set the tone. You set the culture. Make sense? Get these things right and you can stop fretting about the CVF, because the majority of questions now at promotion boards are all around these 4 things: standards, performance, welfare and well-being, and your leadership style that enables all of those things to happen. Make sense? Awesome. Want to find out more about our Academy program? Check the description, top of the description. There's a form to complete. Complete that form. We can have a conversation with you, see if we can help support you to succeed in your promotion board and actually guarantee the result. Yes, guarantee it. You don't pass, we'll give you a full refund. Can't say further than that, can we? Until the next time, I'll see you in the next one. And take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Bye-bye for now.